I've just remembered. There was another matter we were to attend to hereabouts. Was there not?
Efficiency is not the only factor worthy of consideration.
Onward to Burnworth Castle. Let us make for the palace, that you might investigate Minister Allard's chambers. I'd gladly accompany you into the palace if I could, Master, but my kind are only permitted as far as the entrance.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there. Help me. Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but... I can hardly move.
I'll harvest what I can, should it please you.
Can't remember the last time I had a proper meal.
Each of our patients deserves our full attention. Would that we had more hands to aid us.
Isn't there anything to do around here? I must be grateful. At least I have a full belly.
I ought to have enough for a few There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Medicine? Medicine! Medicine! Medicine!
So out there.
Now! Now! Now!
Okay.
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone?
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace, discussing a curious rumor.
Regarding the Queen Regent? And an important personage, you mean?
Indeed. Some suppose there is more to her relationship with this Batali dignitary than is publicly known.
I thought you might like this, so I picked it up. Here you go.
Parece que talvez. Oh. Pode fechou. Pode fé.
Always a fresh breeze blowing round here.
I must be grateful. At least I have a full.
Got something for me?
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times, I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for them.
Fester in the people's hearts. Barely drag my ass out of bed.
Hey.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. You've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the Sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds.
True enough.
Oi.
How might we enter the basement sick room?
Splendid.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
No va a entrar, ¿no?
Beg pardon, sir, but this room is where our most severe cases convalesce. I must ask you not to disturb them, for your sake as much as theirs. The patients in this room must not be disturbed. Leave this place at once.
Oh, someone help me.
I need it.
What should we do?
Mayhap 'twould serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment.
Right you are.
Surely I can commit myself but a moment. This place.
Easily.
Here's me right up.
Sense my thoughts down dark paths.
Ah, that's right. I must fetch those papers.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
A common reward. Frustratingly so.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every... Corner.
Elena. Ah, yes. The abbess of the gracious hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker, till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there. And once, I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man.